This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It is me. It is CGB. Today I am dressed for a stream that I have coming up. I owe a Taco Cat stream. And for those who haven't checked me out on Twitch, before, or haven't in a while, yes, I do a lot of silly dress-up stuff for streams. The cosplayers do it. Why not me? What do they got that I ain't got? Anyway, today we're going to look at what I consider the spiciest brew from the ZENDIKAR Rising Championship. And just my luck, it's a Yorion deck, so it will be one of the 12 days of Yorion. And it is a Sultai deck. Let's check this out. This is from Takahiro Toma. Don't know if I did that right. But in the ZENDIKAR Rising Championship, which you can find all the deck lists for on magic.gg, he played this incredibly wacky list, which I'm excited to talk about. This is a deck with multiple things. For one thing, it's a lot like a Dimir control deck. It's mostly blue-black control. The green is splashed for only Cultivate in the main deck. And in the sideboard, we have a Return to Nature and a Garruk Cursed Huntsman. That's it. That's the green splash. We're doing the old thing that you just never wanted to do, that the pros always just rant and rave if you do, which is we are splashing for mana fixing. But how much does it help when you've got to cast Ugin and expensive spells to have a Cultivate? It helps a lot. And to cast it, we're not making a ton of sacrifices in the mana base. There's only 2 forests. There are 4 Temple of Miladies. There are 4 Sultai Triomes. And there's 4 Fabled Passage. There's also 3 Field of Ruin. This person was prepared for Crawling Barrens. And there are 4 Golden Eggs, which can make a mana of any color if we need to cast that Cultivate. What else is Golden Egg good for in a Dimir control deck? A little bit of life gain? Come on, please. You blink it with Yorion! Yay! And for a moment there, you're like, oh yeah, big brain. And then you're like, wait, there's no Omen of the Sea at all. And then you're like, well, all right. Can't have it all. I guess Golden Egg just took the place of Omen in the Sea because we wanted Cultivate that badly. But it's a fun deck to play. I'm going to give it that. And the control aspects of it are very controlling. There are 4 Bloodchief's Thirst. There are 4 Heartless Act. There are 4 Extinction Event. There are 3 Shadow's Verdict. And there are 3 Ugins. You kill a lot of stuff. You also counter a few spells with negates. And you have Agonizing Remorse to get in the hand and take the important card. So a card that we haven't seen much lately, Agonizing Remorse. There's also 4 Cling to Dust to answer the important question on all of your minds. Does it beat rogues? Sometimes. And Fae of Wishes with a wish board, including all kinds of little wish targets. The deck is being presented exactly as it was built. I haven't changed any cards, which means fan favorites like Necromentia are still in the sideboard, along with Reign of Revelation, I guess. You just need more cards. Okay, the Garruk is a particularly pleasing one, and the 4th Ugin I appreciate a lot. 2 negates being there as well. It's pretty sweet. I like the Deadweight. It is something I don't usually add to mine. There is no Tormod's Crypt, though, which is something I would usually run. So, a few things going on there. I haven't played the deck. I am excited to find out. Is it good? Does it work? Is it up to par? Is it worthy of being one of the 12 days of Yorion? Before we dive in for the nonsense, I want to shout out my sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com, where there are all kinds of deals going on for Christmas presents of various kinds. This is the Deck the Hall sale banner with 15% off Magic the Gathering. Select white cards, it says. But there is a different Deck the Hall for every day this week, so you can do different colors. Of course, blue will be the best one. If you're watching this tomorrow, the Deck the Halls event for blue is going on. And the part I have to tell you about. If you haven't seen it yet, indeed, if you pre-order Kaldheim, a booster box of Kaldheim, you will receive the greatest token ever made, a CovertGoBlue Shark token. You know you want it. It's even got stuff on the back. You ready? Look at that. My hometown, my other hobbies. why I play Magic, and a brief bio to commemorate that you know more about the one in Best of One than others. So please, by all means, pre-order a booster box of Kaldheim, along with pick up some other Christmas presents, and remember to use the promo code CGB5 in the little promo code section to get a discount, and let them know where you come from. So, with that taken care of, plug, sponsor, shill, let's dive in. Let the Sultai Fae of Wishes Yorion nonsense begin. Look at this hand. Do we keep an all-colorless hand? Yes, we do. Snap keep. We just have to draw any other land, and we can Field of Ruin, probably, to get a forest, and play the Cultivate, and then play the Solemn, and things are fine. It's fine, I'm telling you right now. This is big brain. This is gonna be fine. See? There's already a Field of Ruin target. Alright. I'm gonna slow roll this next one. I'm gonna look so bad in front of the world. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'll take it. Okay, see? See? This is fine. Now, what is my opponent playing? Yorion Blue Red. Could be anything. Yorion Teamer. I'm going to play this first. I don't want them to counter this. They might have Jwari Disruption. I want them to look at it and say, well, they already have a lot of land, so... Omen of the Hunt. Okay. I'm guessing we're in trouble. We need to find a Fae of Wishes and go get a Necromentia for Genesis Ultimatum stat. Right away. Our opponent's ramp deck has ultimatums. Our ramp deck does not. Alright, so Solemn and Heartless Act, I think. And because they could have Jwari Disruption or Negate, we'll just do this on our turn. On the bright side, did they miss a land? I think they did. No, they didn't. I just hit 2 lands. Cultivate and Solemn. I double ramped. They single ramped. That's why it's in my head that I might have missed one. Alright. We're looking at Genesis Ultimatum next turn potential. I will look at the top card of my library. Not appetizing. Let's go Ashiok.
The regrets of the dead, creeping, thieving progeny.
Opponent is considering a scry with this Omen. I mean, if you just need a land for your Genesis Ultimatum, you need a blue land, do it. Frickin' do it. And they do it. No tops. Do not, no you don't put that, don't you put that card on top. Yep. Hold on to your butts. This is gonna suck. 80 card deck. Easy. Hits Ugin. Hits Brazen Borrower. Maybe they should have put the Borrower into their hand. I guess it depends. If they minus this Ugin, that's an oops. They don't get rid of my Solemn, though, and I get to attack their Ugin. Could be worse. I bet that's what they're thinking about right now. And there's the -5. Oops. Should have put that in your hand. Oh well.
You are too dangerous to roam.
Bang.
Death has never stopped me.
Really? I don't have enough blue? Smooth. That's something I'm not used to with a Yorion. Someone could blame the auto tapper, but I blame myself. Second Genesis Ultimatum? Anyone? Hardcast Shark Typhoon. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Okay. Okay, this is my life now. Let's charge up. Alright, at some point that Crawling Barrens is going to have to get work done. Let's see if the opponent has some instant speed responses to this. No? Let's make 4-5. Okay. They just want the shark. Fine. I'm down. I can deal. Maybe they wanted to keep me from charging the Barons too. Yeah. So how are we going to pound our way through these sharks? We've got spot removal. Let's see if the opponent goes for their Beanstalk Giant here. It gives us something to Heartless Act. They're thinking. Thinking. Oh, manual taps. Oh, now you know it's serious. Buys Yorion. Does not play Beanstalk Giant. Okay. Hello. They have mana open for counter magic. What do they play? They play Jawari that we know of. If they had a negate, would we have seen it last turn? Probably not. But how do we not try for this? We have to. No! Oh, you monster. There was definitely signs they had something. I don't think it was clear that they had negate, but I guess you guys can be the judge of my play. I know you like to anyway. They're gonna take the damage. Fae of Wishes. Fae of frickin' Wishes. Will that get us out of this? If they make a bunch of sharks, we can name even with Extinction Event, which is one of the reasons I was fine with throwing away the Solemn. Negate. God. How do these ladders... How do they get away with it? Those moments when it looks good, it looks real good. Okay, they definitely don't have a terror. Leave up neutralize mana. What else could they have? Omen of the Hunt? Well, first I'm going to test them this way. Resolves. Then we'll go for this. Okay, resolves. We could get another Ugin. We could also go for Necromentia on Genesis Ultimatum. Or we could take the safe play. The safe play would be Return to Nature the Shark Typhoon. This is a tricky one. We could also grab a negate and just say that we won't let the Genesis Ultimatum resolve. I honestly think this is winner's magic. Just being real. I think that's the play you make if you're playing to win. Because you can just keep exiling the sharks. And force through damage. Okay, so Essence Scatter is what they were holding. Down to 1 card. If you manually tap for a Genesis Ultimatum, I will tilt. Alright, 6, 7, holding up all blue. What? What? Okay. So they play Jwari Disruption. Let's hold the Heartless Act. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We'd have to draw an untapped land anyway, so I do think we go for this. To play Ugin and Heartless Act on the same turn, we would have to draw an untapped land. Alright. I mean, they are... There's the untapped land. They are definitely trying to look like a counter Magic gamer, aren't they? You've got to be kidding me. What the hell is your deck? Alright. Well, the Extinction Event is going to have to bring it home, but all we need to do is resolve Extinction Event next turn and activate Barons, and they're dead. But it comes down to this 1 card. What is it? What actually is it? Land off the top. Okay. Even. I hope it's an Essence Scatter. I really do. Triome. Why didn't they cycle that before that resolved? If they draw a counter now, it's no good. And they obviously run plenty of them. Unless I'm just getting really unlucky. Yeah, they could have cycled into Neutralize. And they just didn't. They didn't realize they were dead. They didn't see it coming. Fabian, no! Fabian, you had me. Removal spells. Let's do it. So in that last game, the one I just played against Gruul, I don't know if they'll be in the same order for this video, but I literally played turn 3 Bloodchief's Thirst, turn 4 Extinction Event, getting 3 creatures, turn 5 Shadow's Verdict, getting 2 creatures, and died. To a creature. It's things like that that just make me look at what Magic has become and why control is so hard. But I can't stop fighting the fight. It makes me happy. I like trying to be a control mage when it's difficult, even if I look like I'm just baby raging. All right. Rogues. They have a Soaring Thought Thief that they're going to play, but I'd rather hit that with Bloodchief's Thirst. I think. So I'm going to buy the Yorion. We're going to need it because we drew 2 Ugins in our opening hand. No, one was opener. The other came off the top, of course. So how the heck are we going to get to 8 mana against rogues? They are probably Zareth rogues. We were going to draw 2 more lands in a row. How about that? Kill it. Kill it now. Okay. They might go for a Xerath next turn, and we could kill the Xerath. But I think just keeping it awkward is better. You know, if they're going to do this, maybe we do want to try to get them to counter it and then play an Ashiok or a Yorion. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. We try to get them to counter this Heartless Act, then we play Ashiok or Yorion. Because then they can't play Xerath anyway here. Alright, it dies. 4 cards in the graveyard, not 5. So we don't want to play that Fabled Passage. If you have that and a second Drown in the lock, we're not friends. Thanks for the Cling, though. Nice hand. Nice job, Rogues. How do they... I draw 2 Ugins. You draw 2 Drown in the locks. Nice job. Well, I'm going to try to wear them out with this Cling, unless they draw a Cling as well. Anything good to Xerath? Oh yeah, Ashioks. Lucky for me, they run Zulaport Duelist, not Ashiok. Not something better. Alright, so we want to do this during their upkeep, I think, is the play. Take them off into the story if they were to draw it off the top. But we don't want to fight it on our turn in case they want to use their mana against it for any reason. Alright, my graveyard. What are we exiling? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 permanents. We're going to exile those paying the cost. So let's target the Heartless Act, and we'll exile all permanents for a potential Xerath-san.
I will haunt your dreams.
Nice. Alright. 3 cards in the graveyard. That's more manageable. And they say go. Not doing much. Shall we put them to the agonizing remorse? We're going to try to set up for this Ugin. Didn't say please. Okay. That gives us some draws. Actually, we should do it now before they untap in case they have Into the Story now. They may have drawn it last turn. And we should throw in the Passage just to get it exiled. Because of Xerath. So we will target, let's see, permanent 1, 2, 3. So we'll target Bloodchief's Thirst. And we'll exile anything that's a permanent, and then after that it doesn't really matter. More free cards. All right. Yes, I know playing against rogues is annoying. Hopefully you're getting an idea here, though, of just how to put them through their paces, as I like to show on the channel. Do we go for the event and just exile these 2? It feels like I should be trying to exile something else. I also feel like Didn't Say Please is a serious possibility. Let's go for it. Having no pressure on me from the rogue side of things would be nice. And aim odd. Alright, 3 cards in graveyard. Do we hold up negate? I don't think I'm going to have to worry about a spell. Let's go for the golden egg. They're probably going to flash in a creature. Yeah, good draw anyway. And now Ugins are in the realm of possibility. You can start thinking about an Ugin. Slither Wisp. Uh-oh. 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 How much back stock did they do? If they have another didn't say please, we are in big trouble. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this for the life. Just to make sure that we survive another turn if they do counter this Ugin. Okay. I think we exile both. Just try to leave no rogues on the battlefield.
Return to the essence.
Okay. Okay, God. Alright. Well, if they draw another counter in their top 2 cards, or if they're able to flash into another one, ugh. Okay. Main phasing that. Love it. They're trying to get lethal. They don't get it.
I have greater matters.
YOLO. Yes! Yes! At some point, you've got to stop, rogues. You've got to stop. I will stop you. Yes! A feeling when they just don't top deck the 3rd drown in the lock. Or even then, it wouldn't counter this because we cleaned our graveyard, but feels good. Heading to my legacy of super slow hands. Why can't I draw untapped land in my openers? Curious. But I think it's a keep. We have the Bloodchief's Thirst, we have Cling, we have Remorse, we have things that are good against all different kinds of strategies, and our opponent's on Yorion, so slow should be fine. It just doesn't, you know, you guys know this feeling. Nice top deck. It's an 80 card deck. How do you end up with these hands that are like 3 Triomes or 2 Temples? So often. Is that shuffler just rigged? Is it just riggedy rigged? Let's play the egg and hold the Remorse. We might be able to get the opponent to buy their Yorion, then we might get to Remorse a Yorion. Okay, this might be classic blue-white controls. We can buy a Yorion, but we'd have to discard, so I don't like that play. I think we get our Scryland played. This is going to be a slugfest, just the way I like it. Let's draw the Ugin. We need high-impact, powerful cards up our sleeve for these matchups. Do I go for the Remorse? Yeah, I'll go for it. I want to use my mana in the future on Crawling Barrens. Omen of the Sun, huh? Thassa, Solemn, 2 Shatters. Those Shatters are going to look pretty bad. Some would say take the Thassa, and if the opponent draws something to blink with it, that is definitely smart. But I'm thinking about taking the Solemn, because they don't have anything else to blink with the Thassa. And the Solemn getting the mana, it's also a pain in the butt to deal with. I guess I can exile it. Okay, fine, I'll take the Thassa. It's the hardest thing to deal with. You got me. When they play Solemn, we can play Extinction Event, name even, and be done with the tokens and the robot. So, that's better. That's better. Interesting. Great top deck for the opponent. Great top deck. I think we'll buy our Yorion because it can draw a card and see about getting it onto the battlefield and say go. Not worried about the token so much that I want to use anything like a Bloodchief's Thirst, and I might use Cling on my own Remorse, but we'll see what they do. I don't really want to Cling my own Remorse. I'm sure I'll get something to Cling from them eventually. Just may take a while. Here comes the robot. So do I play Yorion and just get a draw off this egg? I think I do. We need to keep hitting land drops. We need to get to Ugin. Ugin's the game plan. Plus, the extinction event looks a lot better if we have an odd creature on the board. Free card. 5 mana, 4/5, flying, draw a card. Some people would play that. It's no Cloud Blazer. No Mole Drifter. Rather have 2 cards. 4/5 is pretty big. To the top. Must be Elspeth Conquers Death. Maybe not, but probably. Well, that's what I'd scry to the top. That or an Omen. Oh, okay. We're doing this? Okay. Yeah, that makes me kind of happy. And then they buy their Yorion. They're setting up for a nice next turn. Yeah, that makes me pretty happy. Extinction event name even. Shadow's Verdict also hits all their little things. I guess Shadow's Verdict also hits the tokens they make next turn with the Yorion. Extinction event for even. And then next turn, Shadow's Verdict hits their tokens and their apparition and will Heartless Act their Yorion. They'll get some draws off the tome. That does suck, but it's what we do what we can. If we punch them with Yorion a few times, they're going to have to do something about it. Scry to the top. Probably not a land. Patience. I realize I haven't done it this video. Yorion! It's because I don't have the massive Yorion blinks where I hit like 4 or 5 permanents. I blinked a golden egg. I'm the frickin' boss. Whoa. Whoa! Whoa. Okay. Okay. I mean, fine. I'll take it. My turn. Finally, I get to cling something of yours. Here comes the 2/2. Be afraid. Another Omen? Sure. Not even going to try to protect this 2/2. It's not that important. It's a very defensive play when I'm the one at 13 and they're the one at 21, but I mean, I guess when you're a control mage in your heart, nothing can stop you from being controlling. Let's set up some land. And let's go fetch. What do we want? I mean, Ugin's really good. Negate is fine. Necromentia? We could take their other Yorions completely and get a look at their deck. I'm into it. This does force them to play Yorion next turn. Which I'm sure they wanted to anyway. But we Heartless Act the Yorion, we can Shadow's Verdict the tokens when we get around to it. I am curious, are they a counter magic deck? Scry. They must be a counter magic deck. I mean, we did see a Thassa. That doesn't mean it, for sure. We could just go for this. If they have a negate, do we lose? It's close. So let's do this instead. Yorion. Mystical Dispute is the card. Punished. Alright, Dream Trawlers, 2 of those. We got Charming Princes. We've got Thassas. We've got Emiria's Call and Crawling Barrens, Glasspool Mimic. What do we got for counter magic? I didn't see any Cakes on a Brain, Sublime Epiphany. We've got Elspeth Conquers Death, 2, 3. No counter magic other than the 1 Mystical Dispute that they happen to have in their hand. And 2 Dream Trawlers. Those are a pain. Alright, so we don't want to play any blue spells. Or if we do, they're bait. Intentional bait. We could Shadow's Verdict these 4 and leave them with their Yorion, which I would still love to exile. But they could draw a Glasspool Mimic, which I guess would be really bad. So we should kill it while we can. Hold on. I know what to do. Play this first. See if they Mystical Dispute it. Because we have the 3 to pay. So they won't. And then we'll destroy their Yorion before they untap. Leave them with the tokens. And we have 7 cards in the graveyard, so we can definitely exile this Yorion with the Cling at some point, so we don't have to worry about it with the ECD. Tough matchup. Well, tough decisions. I think we can do it. We're the Ugin deck. We have access to a Wish board, which has cards like Negate. I think we can do it. Alright, they stuff the Fae in a box. They attack with the tokens. They still have Mystical Dispute available. Goodbye, tokens. We could play the Cultivate around the Mystical Dispute, but I'd love for them to play it. And if they don't play the Mystical Dispute on the Cultivate, then guess what? We have enough mana to pay for the Ugin. Probably time to sacrifice Omen of the Sun, but they don't do it. I mean, the Yorion deck is just not accustomed to sacrificing their blinkable permanents, but you have no Yorions left. Charming Prince. Are you charmed? I'm charmed. Look at that hair. Look at the pose! Come in to the party. We're not all gonna laugh at you. The toming continues. Alright. What is my backup if they have an Elspeth Conquers Death? I guess I don't have a great answer now other than to Cling their Yorion. But I guess that's fine. It's possible I should slow roll this Ugin more. get greedier. But here I'm thinking I can discard the 2 Thirsts, get back Fae of Wishes, go get another Ugin.
I come bearing the wisdom of the ancients.
They just keep holding that mystical dispute up. Blue mages, am I right?
Silence.
They didn't even use the scry. Blue mages. Oh, they have the trawler. What do I have in the board for that? Anything? By the way, MTGA assistant, you can check your sideboard. Round in the Lock, Epic Downfall, E2 Extinction, Ashiok, another Ugin. Yeah, I guess it is another Ugin. I don't have anything clean, but we can tap them for a turn, so it's not the end of the world. Bolt the face.
Ghost fire. My greatest creation.
Always bragging about that ghost fire. Opponent, do you want to snap that dispute now? No? Alright, so I guess another Ugin, so that we can minus this one for 6 and play a freshie. I guess we can also play the Fae if we wish. But if we're going to minus the Ugin, we don't want to. Oh, too late. Alright. I guess we'll let that resolve then. When they try to go to combat, Heartless Act. Make them discard to save their Dream Trawler. It's a showdown of some of the titans of Standard here. Dream Trawler and Ugin, the big cards. Discard a Triome. Hanging on to Shatter, interesting. I don't know if I'd be hanging on to Shatter that way. Next turn we're going to have a choice potentially if the opponent doesn't remove this Ugin. Do we minus the Ugin on board and get rid of the Trawler when we can, or do we pass it back and do the Heartless Act thing again? It's not like they have a ton of targets for my Heartless Acts. Getting them discard might be a good way to do things. I don't know. I think now is as good a time as any to go after that Yorion. I think I do exile this Trawler. Alright, Trawler gone. Do we play other Ugin with nothing really to worry about? I think we play Ashiok and try to let Ashiok take over the game and force the opponent to come up with an ECD. I think maybe we also hold this until we have cards in our hand that we want to discard to it. And charge the Barons instead. It's not like having the 1/4 body is going to make a huge difference. If they had Omen of the Sun, we could still block with the Barons and the Nightmare. Alright, 2 to the bottom. Omen of the Sea is digging. Man, if I get to ultimate this Ashiok, I will has me a Dream Trawler A Yorion. Alright, we be scrying. We be scrying. I mean, I would take the Sky Noodle not because I have anything to blink, because it's Sky Noodle. I like defeating people with Sky Noodle. What can I say? I'd probably take the Thassa too, because I think that's enough devotion to turn it on. It actually is. That would be awesome. Here's the casket. Get into the box. Here's the prince. Opponent's going to try to find a way to attack down the Ashiok, or they're going to dig for an ECD, and they put on top. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe we need to draw a card and then go get a negate. They're drawing it now. It's either a Dream Trawler or it's an Elspeth Conquers Death. And so what I'm thinking about is using the Fae of Wishes to go get Duress. It would be better if I just drew an Agonizing Remorse, which can hit anything. There's a Cultivate. So do we Heartless Act this now? No. No, 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 no. Okay. Fae of Wishes. Resolves. 2 mana discard. That would be these two. And then 4 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go get Duress. Still have 4 mana left over. So what if I cast Cultivate and I fetched 2 lands? Okay, that's just greedy. If it is the other Dream Trawler, the Ugin is good. So I don't need to worry about that. So ECD is the concern. We could also grab Negate, but then we fight a counter war, and our Negate is blue, so it gets Mystical Disputed. Auto pay. I'll take that. Thank you. And now the opponent has to draw a removal spell for the Nightmare. They did keep 2 on top, so they might have it. They didn't upkeep Scry with the castle either. Ooh, okay. Ugin fodder. This is going to be fun. They do still have a Shatter the Sky, don't they? That's a little bit annoying. But I have a Yorion. Oh, but it brings things back under under my opponent's control. Out of there. All right. Do we ult the Ashiok into the Shatter the Sky? If we get a Yorion, we get to draw a card. That's pretty sweet. And they blow up their own Dream Trawler, but it goes back into the graveyard. I guess that's not great. We could get a Solemn and a Thassa, and then blink the Solemn. And then what? What else do we get? I guess we do get the Yorion. Hold on. Let's go gameplay. Auto order triggered. Turn that off. And we go -7. And we get your Thassa. And we get your Solemn. Now we should have grabbed the Yorion first, but whatever. Thank you.
I learned much today.
Go get a swamp. Alright, end the turn. We don't get the Dream Trawler because, well, I think you know. Alright, flicker the Yorion to blink the Solemn.
I come bearing the wisdom of the ancients.
Exile, oh, that you own and control. I'm a big brain. We'll just flicker the Ugin then. It's fine. It's fine. That way they can't hit it if they top deck another Elspeth Conquers Death. Draw and draw. You learn something every day, sometimes at my expense. Own and control. What a line of text to put on your card. Get this out of the graveyard, I think.
I leave you
Just removing the win cons. That's the plan.
an opportunity.
Another
to
Ugin, huh?
freshly
Another Ugin?
chance to fail.
Bang.
Consider this a warning.
He just won't shut up. Just Ugin running Ugin mouth. Alright, send the beatdowns. Time for Crawling Barrens to prove its worth in this deck. Do I flicker it? No, no. It'll lose the counters. That's a bad idea. It's a bad idea, everybody. Why no flicker Crawling Barrens to untap it? It would lose all the counters. What are you, a maniac? Are we going to get another ultimate? We might.
Ignore my draconic talents.
We have enough to still do 4 after this, because we get to hit our land drop this way. Come on. To the finish line. Let's go. Go, Barons. You got this. Finish this Gandalf, who I love and adore but must destroy because they were put in front of me. We go through all challengers, even the ones we like. You should see what I do to the red mages I hate. You thought this was a dismantling? You ain't seen nothing yet. 2 to the bottom. Draws from the top. Goes up to 7. Have you had enough pain? Never. Gandalf will never surrender. So long, and thanks for all the Thassa. And we are back for the post-game wrap, and this deck is fun, and there's a lot of science to staying alive. Is Cultivate worth it? I think it's just fine as Dimir control if you pull the Cultivates out, add Midnight Clock, pull the Golden Egg out, add Omen of the Sea. And you've got a fine Dimir control deck. So is Cultivate worth it? I don't know, man. Probably not. But Cultivate I do like better than Midnight Clock. If it were a blue card or a black card, I would run it for sure. And you know what? The deck did fine. The games were very, very eventful. And staying alive was a real obstacle, and everything about it was the kind of Magic I enjoy playing. So it gets my stamp of approval. It is another 12-day of Yorion deck doing amazing Yorion things, and I would recommend it if you've got the cards. I think it could get to Mythic. I think you could grind your way there, and I want to give a lot of credit to Takahiro Toma for playing a deck that just, like, it's different. It's his own thing, and he did it in the Zendikar Rising Championship. So, mega kudos for that, and thank you for blessing us with the list. On that note, one more plug. Sponsor. Plug. Please check out CoolStuffInc.com, sponsor of the stream. Get a 5% discount with the promo code CGB5. Pre-order Kaldheim. Get a CGB Shark token. Assert your dominance at the table when we can go back to Magic at the table. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.